the vast expanse of the cosmos, where stars whispered secrets to one another and nebulae painted the void with colors unseen by mortal eyes, there existed a dominion unlike any other. The Zyrathian Hive, a sprawling empire of interconnected minds pulsed with the singular will of its sovereign, the Hive Queen. She was ancient, her chitinous form sprawling across the throne world of Zirath Prime, a planet-sized nest of writhing tunnels and glowing hives. Her children numbered in the trillions, drones, warriors, scouts, all bound by the psychic hum of her command. They were the scourge of galaxies, conquerors who assimilated worlds not through brute force alone but through overwhelming unity. No species had ever withstood their swarms. Resistance was futile, individuality a weakness to be exploited. It was in this era of unchallenged dominance that the Hive Queen's scouts first detected the blue-green orb called Earth, a backwater planet on the fringes of known space, teeming with a fragmented race known as humans. Through the eyes of her drones, she observed them. Chaotic, divided, their technology rudimentary compared to the bioengineered marvels of her hive. They squabbled over resources, built fragile machines that broke under strain and clung to emotions that clouded judgment. Primitives, she hummed through the collective mind, her derision echoing like a venomous sting across her vast network. Their ingenuity is but a spark in the dark, easily extinguished. We shall harvest their world, integrate their biomass, and add their feeble minds to our chorus. The decision was made in an instant, as all Hive decisions were. A swarm fleet detached from the core worlds, blotting out stars as it hurtled toward Sol system. Billions of warrior drones armored in iridescent exoskeletons, their mandibles dripping with paralytic venom, prepared for the feast. The Queen envisioned it clearly, human cities crumbling under the weight of her children, their leaders begging for mercy before being cocooned and repurposed. They tinker with metals and circuits, she broadcast to her swarm, her psychic voice laced with amusement. While we evolve in harmony, their so-called inventions will shatter like glass before our unity. As the swarm approached Earth's outer defenses, a laughable array of satellites and orbital stations, the first signs of human resistance flickered to life. Missiles streaked from hidden silos on the moon's dark side, their trajectories erratic, unpredictable. The Queen's forward scouts reported the anomalies. The humans deploy weapons that adapt? No, impossible. They are but crude explosives. Yet, as the missiles neared, they fragmented not into shrapnel, but into swarms of their own, tiny drones that latched onto Zirathian hulls, burrowing through chitin with precision lasers. Dozens of her vessels erupted in silent fireballs, their psychic screams rippling back to the Queen. She dismissed it as a fluke. A desperate ploy, she hummed. Their ingenuity falters already, press on. The swarm descended into Earth's atmosphere, a living storm of wings and claws. Cities across the globe braced for impact. New York, Tokyo, Lagos. Evacuation sirens wailed as shadows fell over skylines. Human soldiers clad in powered exosuits that hummed with experimental energy fields took positions on rooftops and in streets. Pilots scrambled jets modified with alien tech scavenged from prior skirmishes, though the Queen knew nothing of those forgotten probes her hive had lost decades ago. In the heart of the invasion, on the sprawling plains of the American Midwest, a forward hive landed. It was a massive structure, birthed from the Queen's seed pods, unfurling into a fortress of organic spires that pierced the sky. From its core, warriors poured forth, their compound eyes scanning for prey. They encountered a human outpost, a research facility disguised as a farm where scientists had been toiling in secret. Dr. Elena Vasquez, a brilliant engineer of Mexican descent, led the team. She was no warrior, but her mind was a forge of ideas, hammered by years of adversity. "We've got incoming," her assistant, a young programmer named Jamal, shouted over the comms. "The bugs are here." Elena nodded, her fingers flying over a holographic interface. The device was her creation, a network of sonic emitters buried in the soil, tuned to disrupt psychic frequencies. Humans had reverse-engineered it from captured Zirathian artifacts, blending it with earthly acoustics. As the swarm charged, the ground hummed to life. A low-frequency wave rippled outward, invisible but potent. The leading drones faltered, their movements jerking as the Queen's command frayed at the edges. "What sorcery is this?" the Queen's voice echoed in their minds, laced with the first hint of uncertainty. But the swarm adapted, or so the Queen believed. She rerouted her psychic signals, boosting them through amplifier nodes on her ships. The drones pressed on, overrunning the outpost's perimeter. Elena and her team retreated to the bunker, sealing blast doors that groaned under the assault. "They're breaking through," Jamal gasped, sweat beading on his brow. Outside, the warriors clawed at the metal, their acid spit melting reinforcements. The Queen savored the moment. See how their defenses crumble? Their ingenuity is illusion, fleeting as their lives. Yet, in the bunker's depths, Elena unveiled her true masterpiece. Not a weapon of destruction, but one of mimicry. "Initiate the Echo Protocol," she commanded. Hidden server's word, broadcasting a forged psychic signal, a human-engineered virus that infiltrated the Hive mind. It wasn't brute force, it was subtlety, born from observing ant colonies on Earth and scaling it up. The signal masqueraded as the Queen's own voice, whispering doubts into the drone's thoughts. "Retreat. Danger. The humans are stronger." At first it was a whisper, but as it propagated through the network, it amplified, sowing chaos. The Queen's amusement turned to alarm. Intruders in the mind web? Impossible. She felt the ripple, drones hesitating, turning on each other in confusion. On the battlefield, warriors froze mid-strike, their mandibles clacking in bewilderment. Human forces counterattacked, their tanks rolling forward with electromagnetic pulses that fried Zerathian biocircuits. In the skies above Europe, fighter squadrons deployed swarm eaters, clouds of nanobots that devoured chitin like locusts on crops. These were inventions cobbled together in garages and labs worldwide, shared via global networks in the hours before invasion. Humans, divided as they were, had united in ingenuity. The Hive Queen poured more of her will into the fray, dispatching elite guardians, massive behemoths with armored plating and psychic shields. They crashed through human lines in Asia, toppling skyscrapers in Beijing. "Crush them," she commanded. "Their tricks are but distractions." But the humans adapted faster than she anticipated. In the ruins, a squad of special forces led by Captain Li Wei improvised. They had no grand weapons, only what they carried: demolition charges and a stolen Zerathian communicator. "Hook it up," Li ordered his tech specialist, a wiry woman named Aisha. She jury-rigged the device to Earth's internet, flooding the Hive network with memes, viruses, and disinformation. Human chaos weaponized. The Queen's mind reeled as alien concepts invaded her thoughts. Viral videos of dancing cats, conspiracy theories, endless debates. It was overload, fracturing her focus. "What madness is this?" she broadcast, her voice cracking for the first time in eons. Drones across the planet began to scatter, their unity unraveling. In Africa, where the swarm had targeted resource-rich mines, local engineers unleashed geothermal traps, vents that spewed superheated steam tuned to exploit Zerathian weaknesses. Warriors boiled in their shells, their screams a psychic cacophony. Back on Zyrath Prime, the Queen thrashed in her chamber, her attendants scurrying in panic. "They are insects, how do they defy us?" But deep down, a grudging respect dawned. Humans weren't unified like her Hive, they were fractals of creativity, each individual a spark that ignited others. One human's idea spread like wildfire, evolving in real time. Her swarms, once an unstoppable tide, now retreated in disarray, ships limping back to orbit as human orbital lasers picked them off. In the climax of the battle over the Pacific Ocean, the Queen's flagship descended, a colossal leviathan pulsing with bioluminescence. It was her last gambit, a direct assault on humanity's command center in Hawaii. "I will end this myself," she declared. But as it approached, a fleet of human submarines surfaced, launching experimental torpedoes laced with a biotoxin derived from earthly jellyfish, amplified to target Zerathian neurology. The toxin infiltrated the ship's systems, causing hallucinations in the crew. Drones saw phantoms, armies of humans rising from the waves, invincible. The Queen felt it all, her mind linked to every child. Panic spread like venom through her veins. No, this cannot be. Her swarm scattered, fleeing in all directions, their once perfect formation a chaotic blur. Human cheers echoed across comms as the flagship retreated, trailing debris. In the aftermath, as the last Zerathian vessels vanished into the void, Elena Vasquez stood atop her ruined outpost, watching the stars. "We did it," Jamal said softly. "Not with strength, but with smarts." She smiled. That's what makes us human. Far away, the Hive Queen nursed her wounds, her empire humbled. For the first time, she pondered the power of disunity, the chaos that bred innovation. Humans weren't weak. They were wildfire, unpredictable, and resilient. And for the first time, the galaxy understood what it truly meant to be human. If this story moved you, subscribe for more human stories from the stars.